For Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser here with 2022 cornerback Jordan Allen from Lafayette Christian, fresh off of a 21-7 victory at top-seeded Newman last night in the Division III state semifinals. The Knights advancing on to a fourth straight state championship. They've won the past three and certainly looking strong at the right time of year. Jordan, what's up, man? You get any sleep last night? How you feeling this morning?
I'm good. I'm still a little tired right now, but I'm good though.
A lot of excitement last night, right? I mean, what did that mean for you guys to we're going to talk a little bit about it. You were without Sage, one of the senior leaders of this team, going against a high-powered team in Newman. You guys go down to New Orleans and take care of business and have a shutout second half to get it done. What was that kind of moment as the clock wound down like for y'all from just kind of an excitement and emotion standpoint, and what does it mean to be going to play for another state championship?
Like at the beginning of the game, we already knew we had to take care of business, especially without having Sage. We knew we had to win for our brother, and we're really like a brotherhood over here. So we just played for our brother, and we got the job done.
I mentioned the matchup a little bit, and everyone knows. I mean, if you're around Louisiana football, you have an idea of the Manning family and whatever generation that may be, whether it's Archie or Peyton Eli Cooper, and now Arch coming through. A lot of people are talking about as a sophomore, and he's got some very talented wide receivers. A guy that you were matched up against all night, and A.J. Johnson, who I think is one of the top two or three receivers in y'all's class. Kai Donaldson, a younger guy, the smaller, more slot guys, John Charbonnet, Pike Philibert, and company. And you guys came out and were able to really get some pressure up front, and then you don't give up any catches to AJ, which is quite a feat. What was kind of the game plan going in to have that sort of success against that type of a crew?
The game plan was really for me to be on him the whole night and just pressed up and be aggressive because I knew he's a big guy. He has a real good body. He has good movement and everything, and I knew I just had to be patient and be aggressive.
When you have matchups like that, what does it mean to have some of that success for you both kind of as probably your biggest test in terms of someone who was lined up across from you this year and just kind of to test and similar to what we talk about in practice, iron sharpens iron, those opportunities are big for you guys, but also to be able to have that sort of success against a weapon like that for the other team in terms of the bigger team picture?
Like it was really good. Like from the beginning, I knew I just wanted the competition with him. Me and him was going at it the whole night. It was just a great night.
You guys have a chance to talk afterward and pass any what's that, I guess, message between y'all now moving forward?
Yeah, told me he was like, you're one of the best corners I ever played against. And I told him he's a real good player and to keep working and keep his head up.
We talked some the previous time I'd seen you guys about sort of the off-season work that you put in, and it was a little bit of a quicker conversation as we're kind of scrambling around to get out. But now with a little bit more time, what was some of that work like? What were some of the things that you really put that time in on that you feel like you're seeing pay those dividends now on some Friday nights?
I really worked on my feet. I needed to get my feet faster and my hands, like shoot at the right angles and all that. So that's really what I worked on, and it showed last night.
The guys around you up front, Big Fitz and Macy and all those guys, really Trent was involved in a lot of – I mean, he was everywhere last night. He was involved on some pressure. He was also involved in some plays in coverage. Starting from kind of the front of the defense and working our way back, what did you see from those big boys up front, and how much did that help you do what you were able to accomplish?
At the beginning of the game, I just told him, go get him. Get to the QB, put pressure on him so he could get the ball out quick. And that's exactly what they did.
And then getting back more in coverage with you, I mean, Brylan, we're used to being all over the place, and we talked so much about you two guys and about Sage, and I think people are starting to finally talk a little bit more about the other senior, Anthony Richard Jr., who is great out on that other corner. You guys had another junior, Devin Walton, come up with a diving interception, a big spot. You had Cayman Scott, who I'm used to seeing on those long touchdown catches. Next thing I know, he's coming up with some huge breakups. What did you see from some of those other guys in the secondary, just all over the place to hold that team to 7 points?
They just stepped up. They were a team player. They did whatever was best for the team, and they executed last night.
running through some of them, Anthony as another corner out there, what stands out about his game that I think when you pull up to the field, you look at him, you're like, all right, that's a good looking cornerback, and then he gets out there and does his thing. What have you been impressed with him through the season?
Anthony's a big, long corner. He's very aggressive. He's going to get the job done no matter what. Anything you need him to do, he's going to get it done. He's a great player, and he really taught me some stuff that I know, and that's like my brother.
You're a guy that we've had some fun on here before, Brylan, little baby honey badger vibes out there pretty much every Friday night.
Yeah.
Um, what has stood out about him, particularly this junior year, to take that big step forward and show that he's every bit as good of a football player as he is a baseball player and a friend for you.
Brylan has a big heart. He might be small. He might be smaller than everybody, but he's going to get the job done. He doesn't care if you're 200 pounds, 300 pounds, he's still going to hit you. It really don't matter to him.
And Devin is a guy that I hadn't noticed as much as a few of y'all when I'd had a chance to see you. Y'all had some guys step up last night that I was less familiar with, but for him to have that play in that moment, how exciting was that for him? And what was y'all's conversation, or probably more a lot of dancing and stuff as you head back to the sideline and kind of celebrate with him?
That was a big-time play, and we really needed it. So he stepped up big right there.
And I mentioned Speedy, the guy that he had a long touchdown catch, and he does that quite often. For him to come over and play that sort of defense in a bigger defensive role last night in that sort of a scene and that sort of a stage, looked pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he really did. He told me, he said he's going to invite him to Cayman Island, he calls it himself. So that's what he calls himself.
When you guys are able to have that type of a success against that type of a team in a state semifinal, how much confidence or rhythm or whatever it is do you feel now going into this title game in a couple of weeks? You guys have to feel like you're clicking about as well as you have at any point this season.
We always want to start fast. We always want to set the tone, and that's how we get started. As soon as we set the tone, we just got to keep it up.
For y'all that are, I mentioned when we were chatting previously, I mean, Sage has been doing this thing for 4 years now at a high level, and some of y'all, this is certainly not your first go round in terms of playing a role for this team, but each year the role kind of grows, and so this is for you juniors a bigger role than any of y'all saw probably last year, and there's some sophomores that are making plays right now. This will be a first for Jawan, who gets a chance to get in there as a quarterback as a freshman. But as you kind of continue the legacy of what's been building at LCA, what is that like now? A new year, a bigger role, a bigger opportunity, bigger responsibility, all those things. How does that feel this time of year now, being on kind of the threshold of competing for another state championship for you as now a junior?
Every year is it's the same thing. We want to get to the same place we've been at. We're trying to build a legacy over here, and we bring our brick every day by day. Everybody brings their brick, and we just keep building and building and building on it, and now we're back to it.
For any folks that happen to catch y'all up in Natchitoches this year that haven't been as familiar with you, what should people expect to see when they see a Lafayette Christian 2020 football team take a field?
They should expect us to play the best game we ever played. Best game we ever played.
And for all those fans from the 337 that are going to hit the road and take the little road trip up there to Northwestern State University and watch it unfold, one more game left in this weird up and down season, up and down year. What's kind of the message to the parents and the friends and the family that's going to follow y'all?
We're going to represent. We're going to represent the 337. We're going to bring it back home.
Good deal, man. Appreciate you taking a few minutes. I like I said, I think we were both up last night still watching highlights and clips and excited, and had agreed to wake up and try and chat through some of it. So I certainly appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
You got it. Again, he's Jordan Allen, standout 2022 cornerback for the Lafayette Christian Knights, one of the best prospects in that junior class in Louisiana. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser.